Julio Urias has been an incredibly valuable and reliable starting pitcher for the Dodgers over the last few years. He threw the final pitch of the 2020 season, recording the final out on a strikeout to win the World Series for the Dodgers. 2021 was the first year Urias fully became a regular starter in the rotation for LA, and he was great, throwing over 185 innings with an ERA under 3, winning 20 games, the most in all of baseball, while being the losing pitcher only 3 times. He had a 20-3 record, equating to an .870 win-loss percentage, also the best in baseball, finishing top 10 in National League Cy Young voting, and he only continued that success in 2022, throwing 175 innings with a 2.16 ERA, the lowest ERA in the National League that season, finishing top 3 in Cy Young voting and top 15 in MVP votes. I mean, the Dodgers clearly had something good on their hands here with Urias, but there was always something that seemed to fly under the radar, at least seemingly with most baseball fans. If you're part of the 70% of viewers not subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button and join the wonderful subscribers of the channel, as Urias actually went through a pretty serious situation back in 2019, when he was put on administrative leave on May 14th of that year because of a domestic battery investigation. Apparently, witnesses told police that they saw Urias shove a woman that he was with to the ground in a parking lot. With that said, just a week later, he was back reinstated, but later that year, a few months later in August, the league found enough evidence to suspend Urias for 20 games, although the alleged victim told investigators that she simply fell to the ground. Urias fully cooperated with the league's investigation while also admitting some wrongdoing, agreeing not to appeal the 20-game suspension while also putting out on the statement, quote, "Although the authorities determined no charges of any kind were warranted, I accept full responsibility for what I believe was inappropriate conduct during the incident," end quote. After this, everyone kind of just seemed to forget about it and let it go, while Urias continued to be employed by the Dodgers and has continued to be since. And just a couple of years later, the whole Trevor Bauer saga happened, something that resulted in him getting the longest suspension in baseball history, and despite it eventually getting reduced, allowing him to come back and play, nobody wanted him, with him having to settle to play in Japan, at least for now. Meanwhile, Urias basically got off scot-free. Now, they are pretty different situations if you know about them, obviously. Urias allegedly shoved a woman down to the ground in a parking lot, and Bauer allegedly beat women in the process of sleeping with them. And despite there being texts of the woman saying she actually wanted Bauer to be rough, and also coming back to see him after their first encounter, along with a video of her the morning after the alleged incident that shows no marks, scars, or bruises on her face like she had claimed, despite all of that, Bauer was basically blackballed by the league. Nobody wants to touch him. Maybe Bauer is a bad person and isn't someone other players want to be around. Maybe he's toxic. I don't even fully know where I'm going with this. I guess what I'm trying to say is you would think the league would look more down upon Urias, or at least you would think the fans would. But he seemed to be pretty well liked by everyone, with an overall good reputation despite the 2019 incident. Well, as of literally just last night, Urias very likely just ended his entire career. Another accusation? Not just that. Julio Urias was arrested on Sunday night on felony domestic violence in Los Angeles, although he wasn't charged with anything. Apparently, Urias and the alleged victim, a woman, were in a crowd when a witness claimed they saw Urias get physical with her. The witness alerted police, and they proceeded to arrest him, being taken into custody just after 11 p.m., transported to an LAPD jail, being booked around 1 a.m. before bailing out a few hours later on a $50,000 bond. The Dodgers have since addressed Julio Urias' arrest, saying, quote, "We are aware of an incident involving Julio Urias. While we attempt to learn all the facts, he will not be traveling with the team. The organization has no further comment at this time," end quote. And the court date is also set for later this month. Obviously not the distraction that the first place Dodgers and second best team in the National League needs right now, but at the end of the day, I think they'll be fine and be able to block out the noise on this drama. What's up with these great teams having players getting in serious trouble? The Tampa Bay Rays just recently lost Wander Franco because of allegations he's been messing with minors. But at the same time, as hard as I'm sure it is to see a teammate like that all of a sudden have this big dark cloud over him, this hasn't hurt the team. In fact, ever since the Wander news came out, the Rays have gone 12-5. They're playing well. It hasn't become a distraction for them, and I doubt something like this will be for the Dodgers either. Julio Urias wasn't even very impactful for them this season anyway, currently having an ERA over 4.5. But regardless, this is not good. And it seems more apparent that the 2019 incident was a little warning sign of who Julio Urias really is. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.